Okay. Let's see. You go to your little. Hello, everybody. It's Monday night. How are you? Are you guys here already? Um, let's see. No, I did not forget it was Monday. The computer scheduled it to be 8 p.m. I did not. I scheduled it to be 8:30. Facebook, it says 8:30. Here it says 8 p.m. I don't know why. So are you guys still here? Like, I don't know how it works on your end. If you guys like do hang out, are you still here? So anyone who's tuned in or typed in already, like Kelly and Sandy and Carrie and Marianne, and let's see who else is there. Susan, just let me know, and Shannon, if you are still here. Maria, Aisha, Grace, let me know who's here. And once again, let me know where you're tuning in from. It's Monday night. It's 8:32 p.m. at this live broadcast. And there was some of you were tuned in earlier, but I don't know what you see during that time. So if you let me know, like, are you seeing any video or were you seeing the background? But okay, so now you're here. Perfect. And then Facebook, let's see. Oh my God. Hello, Karen. How are you? I see that you're over there. That's so exciting to see you. So for those of you like Karen who's watching through Facebook, I just want to remind you that I don't really look at the screen, except I just did right there. It was serendipitous that I looked to see that you're on, Karen. So I don't take questions from anyone who's tuning in from Facebook. So you can switch over to my YouTube channel. So you Google YouTube, Intuitive Medium Deborah Hanlon on YouTube. You'll find my channel. You'll be able to join in on the live broadcast if you have a certain question to ask. We keep Facebook open because maybe you're just curious about what the night is going to handle and what's going to be said and all that stuff. But if you have questions or want to interact with me personally, then come on to YouTube. Plus, Facebook, you have the ugly green screen behind you. No, behind me. And those of you on YouTube are actually seeing the beautiful pink. We've decided that it looked like Pop Rocks. I think Sharon said that last week. So that's perfect. So, all right. Hello. Let me see who's here. Irish Mike Mac. I haven't seen you on here yet, or not under that name. Hello. Let me see who's here. Hello. Yvette. Grace, Beth. Okay, now everyone's here. Missy, hello. Christina from North Carolina. Angie, Pam, Mike, Kristen, hello. Jillian, and Annie from Colorado. This is good. A good start. I always like to see who's tuning in. You don't have to say that you're tuning in. I actually have been getting word that there are people that pretend they don't watch me. And then, of course, the universe lets me find these things out anyway. And they are watching me. So hello to people who pretend that you're not watching me, but you really are. I appreciate your viewing as well. So it's Monday night. Let me freaking tell you about our day. Oh, Greg already prefaced this. What a day. Hello, all. What a day. So you know how Facebook, when there's like a hurricane or some act of nature, or some really upsetting thing, like God forbid a mass shooting in like a public place, you know how Facebook all of a sudden, like, you can get yourself marked safe from such and such hurricane or marked safe from some volcano going off? Well, Greg and I need to mark ourselves safe from fucking IKEA. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you have children with you right now. If you have children with you right now, you probably shouldn't have them with you. Wait until they're older, or wait until they understand who I am. Wait until they understand the F word, because let me tell you, fucking IKEA, promise. We get there 12:11, because that's when my phone said we arrived. 12:11. We had to get Christopher to an orthodontist appointment at 5 p.m. We're like, yeah, we'll have plenty of time for that. I had it in my head what we want. Greg and I had a little minor snafu, like, just, let's call it a difference of opinion, but we all know who wins the decorative differences of opinions. Women win that, right? Yeah. So sorry, Mike. Sorry, Greg. Sorry, any male that's jumping in on here. So we had to take a little time out because President's Day, fucking IKEA. Honestly, there's not enough meditation in the world. I want to see the Dalai Lama go to IKEA, and I want to see that brother. I want to see him stay peaceful. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna rant, I'm gonna vent, because if I don't do it to you, I'll blow up my whole house. So, oh my God. First of all, the carts that slide sideways. I understand why they do it. Logistically, it makes sense, except like I told Greg that my back was like hurting and my hips were hurting. So we're like navigating these stupid packed places, which then you get the person that's like walking really slow right in the center lane of IKEA. There's no perusing IKEA. And if you're going to peruse IKEA, go on like a Tuesday morning by yourself. Do not go President's Day weekend. Do not go when a million people and you're just like lollygagging looking around. No. We're on a mission. You go, you get your stuff, right? Right. No. So the carts, I said, you know what? If we have spent any more time at IKEA today, because we left there, I think it was 5 p.m. Had to call the kids, get another ride for Christopher to get to the orthodontist because we were still there trying to figure out, we're just redecorating an office. I mean, we're not doing anything crazy here. We could have gone to freaking Crate and Barrel and Pottery Barn and all that nice shit at the point that we would have spent the same amount of money. Actually, that's not true. But anyway, so we did that. We did that today. But I said if we had spent any more time there, I might be able to get workman's compensation for my back and legs hurting because we were there so long and I'm pushing these damn carts. And actually, Greg pushed it most of the time. And then, so yeah, that was annoying. It was really annoying. And I'm still wound up. But of course, I'm like JoJo the circus clown. I got to get it done because the minute we came home, we had to start putting this stuff together. Even though I was supposed to come on here I did at 8:30. That's what we did. We were putting furniture together and then I was like, I better like take a time out because I'm going to explode. And then I did. I took maybe, I don't know, 25 minutes, 20 minutes. And I watched Ellen. I watched Ellen because Ellen puts me back into a fun, happy space. But because IKEA is a nightmare. It's a damn nightmare. So that was what our day was. Fucking IKEA. I'm telling you. Please, 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 please. Oh, no, Carrie, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew exactly what I wanted. We had a difference of opinion and functional and blah, blah, blah. It's a long story there. So I can't wait. I'll take a picture when this office is finished. We forgot to take a before picture, so that's dumb. So we won't be able to see how disgusting and awful the home office was. But I'll take a really nice picture in about a week's time by the time we get all this shit put together and assembled because we're now employees of the place because we're there so much. And then, the whole thing with the 3 floors and I hate that place. I hate it. You know what? It doesn't matter if they gave that shit for free. We shouldn't go. We just shouldn't go. Someone's got to fix something. Give me a personal shopper. Give me someone. We were kind of joking around going like, yeah, we're going to lose our mind. We can't find our way. And the guy was like, yeah, this store can be very frustrating sometimes. And I'm like, dude, I like teach people meditation and like how to stay chill. And I want to fucking kill everybody right now. So that was IKEA. So if you saw us there, oh yeah, we walked, I checked my phone app, 2.5 miles. We walked through IKEA. Because once you go to the showroom and you see like the one room and you're like, God, that looks pretty, which you never make your room look like that because you're only buying like 2 out of the 95 pieces. You're going to buy 2 and you think the room's going to look the same. But anyway, by the time you go see, okay, that's what I want, they got to go another floor and find it. And then we're like, we can't find it. And then they send us back up to, oh no, that's right where that, oh my God, please, please. So sorry. IKEA, please remind me when we have to do a big thing. Like if you have to go get like a little ceramic stupid little pot, or I bought little succulents, fake succulents, because I kill succulents. Everyone goes, "Oh, succulents last forever." Nope. I'm going to take a picture and I will post those to Facebook afterwards so that you can see what my succulents look like, that you're not supposed to ever be able to kill a succulent. So, okay. So anyway, happy Monday, everybody. Happy freaking Monday. How are you guys? I'm better. Order online? No, you can't do that from IKEA. Trust me, I'm like a shopping queen. I'm not kidding. I know the ins and outs. I live at Home Goods. I like to totally pick things out. I like it. I usually like it. But IKEA today for 5 hours? No. No bueno, no bueno, no bueno. Oh my goodness. Oh, hey, some Vegas people are tuning in. Hello. Hello, hello. Eileen is in Vegas. Let's see where all you fun people are. Yeah, Dalai Lama. Go to IKEA and tell me that you're still peaceful and doing your Buddhist, centering and all that, because I clearly have a lot more to learn. Let's see. Albany. Yes, thank you, Susan. I am coming back to Albany in Cohoes March 18th. So for those of you who haven't gotten your tickets, get them soon, because I'm going to be back there. And before you know it, we're going to be in March. So, yeah, and it wasn't even a bad day. That's the funny thing, Susan, because Susan Scagnelli, now I have the name of the face. It wasn't even a bad day because I can't complain. Like no one died, no one was sick, no one, it was just like 5 hours in IKEA day. It was just, whew, every last one of my internal nerves were tapped and exploded. So there you go. So I can't say it's a bad day, because then I'd be a real jerk, because there's definitely worse. Okay, how's Baker? He's adorable. The day started off with his first doggy vet appointment. He did really well. And then he threw up all over the car on the way back home. So that was fun. Let's see. Lack of time management is IKEA's fault. I had no lack of time management. That was not it, Mary Jane. That was not it. And no, what was IKEA's fault was the layout of that massive store. But because we both had off today was the only day we both could get there, because the one in New Jersey is closed on Sundays, so we couldn't go on the weekend. So let's see. Who else? Who else? That's right. $5 on 17. You got it. Okay. Let's see. You guys killed the succulents too. Thank you, Marianne. Where's Baker? He's upstairs. I don't think any of the kids are going to bring him down. Robin, we passed Stu Leonard's and I thought of you because you were there. Let's see. Can't go on a holiday. What was that? Can't go on a holiday. That's for damn sure. We would have gone Sunday, but everything in Jersey closes on a Sunday, which I actually agree with. I think it's a smart idea of having one day that everything is fine. Okay, so yes, Kathy, hello. I'm going to be back at Club Helsinki too in March as well. It's the 18th. Let's see, a week from the 19th. It's a week and a day after I'm at Cohoes. So I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but it's a Thursday night, Club Helsinki in Hudson, New York. Best venue. I love that venue. Yep. Okay. Marge, IKEA like the back of your hand. I thought I used to. Shannon, here's a question that pertains to the event, the show here tonight. Speaking of shopping, do spirits ever talk to you, asking you to talk to someone where you are? If so, no way was any sort of energy going to talk to me. Now they were like, oh, she's a little upset. She's a little tense or preoccupied. I was on a mission. So, but typically, no, not anymore. I don't pay attention to it. I really don't. I do not pay attention to it. I only sit down and it's mediumship itself is a focus of my mind. So it depends on where I'm focusing on, and definitely shopping and doing any of that stuff. What do you call it? So too many. Oh my God, what am I talking about? I'm trying to read stuff and talk at the same time. So yeah, I don't, when I'm out in public, my brain is not programmed to focus in on that stuff. That's why I don't even see, feel, or hear it. See, Nicole? Exactly. 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 So, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, because I'm seeing a lot of names here, which is pretty cool. One, I'd love to know how you heard about this, if you stumbled across it, or if a friend recommended it to you. And the whole purpose of tonight is just so that I can vent my frustrations of life. Um, Not really. And I like to get what I'm doing out there, and I also like to take your questions, your generalized questions. Every once in a while, I will do a personal intuitive question night through this way, but that's not what the purpose is. So this more generalized questions, and I do have, and I saw you, D. I do have a bunch of classes coming up. I finally set all my spring and summer courses. I'm already into the fall planning stuff, and one, the private coaching is starting, which I announced last week. And if you want more information, you can get on the first free private coaching call on March 3rd. You have to be on my mailing list. If you're on my mailing list, you will be able to qualify to get the conference number, the conference call number to call into. It won't be through this, it'll be on the phone. So, all of that, you can send emails to my office, info@beingknowingdoing.com, or it's all on my website, deborahhanlon.com. So that's coming up. Italy, I have 2 spaces. I thought last week I had 1 space. Actually, I did have 1 space and one person had to pop out. So now I have 2 spaces left. I will fill those spaces, but 2 people. So if you and a friend, you and a sibling, you and a parent, whoever you are, you might want to sign up for this. So 2 spots available. You can only fill 1 too if you just want to go by yourself, but 2 spots in Italy. That's in this July. So that's coming right around the corner. And that's an amazing trip. And we just hang out all week long together. And we do lots of activities and focusing. And that's all about unlocking the intuitive within you, learning how to tap in and get connected, creating space for yourself, being able to focus on your vision for what's the next portion or part of your life, whether that's a year or the next 10 years. Plus, we tour really cool sites and we just hang out. I mean, we sit at night on this underneath this gorgeous pergola, and if you drink wine, we drink wine. If you don't drink wine, you can drink water. And we just hang out and talk and chat, and it's just a really amazing time. So that's coming up. Private coaching is coming up. Energy transformation is coming up. That starts March 20th. That's my favorite class, my most intense. I think I have 5 spots left for that one. So I have to check with Michelle, but I think it was 5 because I think 2 of you or 3 of you signed up last week. So energy transformation awareness, you will not find this course anywhere. It is 6 weeks of intense work with me, 30 hours of class time with me. So everybody is gets all crabby about not being able to get a private one-on-one appointment with me. But I honestly tell Michelle to tell people, listen, do you want 30 hours with me, or do you want to get the opportunity for maybe 1 hour? I promise you, in my opinion, based on your needs. Now, the ETA is not mediumship. I'm not connecting you with anyone on the other side, but I'm connecting you to yourself. And when you're connected to yourself, then you have that opportunity to be able to be a more clear channel or medium yourself to your loved ones. So that's coming up March 20th. What else do I have in my paper? Okay, so Introduction to Mediumship. That course is starting the first Tuesday in May. So that's every Tuesday throughout May and the first 2 Tuesdays in June. You could take individual classes, or you could take all of them all at once, or you could take all 6 classes, or you can just pop in at one. I highly recommend doing all 6. I designed them to work, or the first 4. I designed the first 4 to work independently. So if you pop in on number 3, you'll learn some stuff. Will you learn as much stuff? No, of course not. So you can take the whole series, but I'll design it so that if you can only make 2 of the classes, you're still going to get something out of it. The final 2 classes really wouldn't be the best to take because it's more about the practical application of doing sessions. Let's see what else. Okay. So that's a course. And then my new series D. This is what you've been waiting for. Let me take a break. The new series is I have chosen 5 different children's books / stories that are favorites of mine. The first one I'll tell you in a minute. And it's a philosophical, spiritual, delving into children's literature and connecting it to our own journey and what it means to us. Because I think children's spiritual books are way more profound than any even adult books I've read, because they're quick, they're to the point, they usually tell a story that we can relate to. So this is philosophy and spirituality through children's literature. And the first story that I'm going to do, which is so exciting to me, is Alice in Wonderland. So the whole theme in that first class, it begins in May. They're all held on a Saturday throughout the summer. We'll be diving in. We're jumping down the rabbit hole to understand the philosophical themes and messages behind Alice in Wonderland, and then how that applies to who you are now and moving forward. So it's a totally different way of me working with you, getting kind of out of our heads a little bit more, working through children's literature to kind of see your journey so far. And again, what's coming next. I've never done anything like this. The other stories that I'll be doing, and I can't remember the order I placed them in, but The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, The Little Prince by St. Exupéry, The Little Soul in the Sun by Neil Donald Walsh. And why am I forgetting the last one? Oh my God, it'll come to me. Can't remember. It'll come to me. There's 5 stories. Oh, yeah, and Alice in Wonderland. Duh. So those, am I leaving one out still? Hold on, 1 minute, please. Alice in Wonderland, Giving Tree, Little Soul in the Sun, The Little Prince. Yeah, I am still missing one. I'm scared. It'll come to me. It's the surprise one. It's the one you're going to have to go to. Oh, yes, I remembered it. The Velveteen Rabbit. So all of them have to do with the nature of ourselves, becoming real, what is giving, what is receiving, really checking in what feels good to you, what feels right to you, what does make you real, who do you make real, as far as the themes tied in for Velveteen Rabbit. But the first stories we're dealing with Alice in Wonderland. So that is what's coming up. And oh, Missy, you love that book. You have to do it. Totally do all 6 Ds talking about mediumship. Liz, you're in Florida. Yes. I debated whether I will do them online. So that's still TBD, to be determined. If somebody else takes care of every bit of aspect of me being online and I just get to teach the class, then I will think about it. But if I have to do both with figuring out the technology of online stuff and the people in front of me, no bueno. Then I go crazy. So, Grace, which one was a favorite book? Alice or Melanie? I heard of. I thought of doing Fall of Freddie the Leaf. Maybe I'll do it more towards fall, actually, because that would be an appropriate one. But I did. That was the. Thank you for knowing that. The most significant book of my life. There's another one called Hope for the Flowers, which is not common. People don't normally know that one, by Trina Paulus. So there'll be more. But this is just new for me. It's new for me. And I like making connections of spirituality in everything that we see, read, experience out in life. So yes, Maria, I would say we have to read each book before class. 2 of them I will read during class because they're short enough. Alice in Wonderland obviously has several movies based, so you could read the book, watch the movie. Greg and I watched it last night. I actually fell asleep. He loved it, the Johnny Depp version. So, and Greg is saying, if books are not on Deborah's Amazon page, I'll get them. Okay, so yeah, the ones that I'm recommending, I think they're all on there. Pretty sure they're all on there. So that's my exciting new series. I'm excited about it because it's new. And after a while, and all of you who are teachers, when you keep teaching the same stuff over and over, it just starts getting monotonous as a teacher. Even though I know everybody who takes the classes are so excited to learn everything, to me, I just needed fresh energy. And these stories came to me like literally like a lightning bolt. So I worked on all of that this weekend. Um, so that's my big announcement of my classes coming up. And thank you, Dee, for even asking, because that means you're paying attention. So on those classes, do you guys have any questions about those in particular? We will move towards more generalized questions here tonight in just a moment. But if you have any questions about those classes that I'm offering, ETA, Italy, private coaching, the spiritual philosophy of children's books, and intro to mediumship. That's a lot. While I'm waiting for you guys to type questions, did you ever read the I Love You Forever? Yes, I do. I don't even think I'd be able to get through that book by and reading it, but that's another good one. I actually went through a bunch of different books. The Star Child, anything by Tommy DePaula. Who else did I think of? I was getting totally carried away. I love children's stories more than anything else. There was something else, and I'll think of it too. But those were the top 5 that just were really, really, really. I loved it to think outside the box. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Online journaling. What do you mean by that, Liz? Any additional thought on online journaling? And how is everybody doing over here on Facebook too? I know you're tuning in. I can see things going over there out of the corner of my eye, but I don't really look over here because I can't see too well. So if you're tuning in through Facebook, it's just more for your listening pleasure. But if you want to interact and talk and ask questions, make sure you pop on over here. Okay, that was a lot of talking. Straight talking. I feel like all of you are like, oh my God, shut up, Deborah. Online journaling class. I don't know if I've thought about doing an online journaling class. Follow-up class to intro to mediumship. Not yet. So what I try to do is get a large enough base on one level. And once I get enough base people to then move on to the next levels, then that's when I add the next level. So otherwise, each subsequent level, there's less and less pool of people that can attend it. And then say I have 50 people who can attend the next level, but only 25 can make it that day. And of those 25, only 6 can really come for whatever reasons. Then I'd rather do the classes for as many people as possible, although I limit them as well, as you all know. So they're not quite in the hundreds. Maria, Alice in Wonderland has been a tough read for you. You know what? I sat and pulled out all these quotes from it. And the more I kept focusing on each individual quote, the more I was like, how, and I've loved Alice in Wonderland, and I have quotes and sayings around the house from the story, but I kept really pulling out. I think I wound up pulling out about 45, I think it was, really significant life quotes that completely made me go, oh my gosh, like this is such a story about personal development. And I just thought it was outrageous. So maybe you will enjoy this. Okay. Thank you, Janine. Okay, Deb asked a question up above, and I think Maria also wants to know, can our loved ones read our minds, not while we talk out loud? Absolutely. Absolutely. You do not have to speak out loud to them. Connecting with them it's wavelengths, it's frequency, and our thoughts create a frequency. So that it's like sending a text. I always say that, or them sending a text to you. If you just think of them out of the blue for no reason, that's how it works. That's how flawless and easy. That's how it works. So you don't have to speak out loud. You can if you feel better speaking out loud, and I do know a lot of people do, and that's totally fine. But You don't have to. My mouth is getting so dry from talking. So that's a good question. Do I have any group classes for people who are grieving? You know what's so crazy? Michelle and I were just talking about that within the month. And I keep thinking that people typically don't like grief groups. There are people who love them. I shouldn't say they typically don't like it. In my experience, I know a lot of you are going to go, I love my grief group, or others are going to say, I hated my grief group. In my experience, people either fall into one or the two categories. Love their grief group, hate their grief group. We keep kicking around the idea of starting a grief group, particularly for parents. There's a lot in that. There's a lot. So I have nothing on the schedule right now, but the conversation is kicked up between Michelle and I all the time. And obviously my grief group would not be, I don't want to say it wouldn't be typical, but honestly, knock on wood, I haven't been a part of a grief group. So maybe I'm completely off track by saying that. So, but it has been thought of. We thought of doing a grief workshop, like a retreat weekend. That was another idea that we kicked around because I do get asked for that often. So it's not totally off the table. Let's put it that way. But whoops, sorry about that. What I would say, Susan, too, just off the top of my head, I really would tell you to come to the meditation workshop, the meditation class I do on Sunday nights, every other Sunday night. It's not a grief group. It's not just geared for that. It's for everyone and anyone searching for anything and everything. And yet there's a lot of people in there who are currently experiencing grief. So obviously grief and that work comes up a lot. And it is an amazing group of people. A lot of them are signing in on here. It's the people, the energy in the room. I always say it's very real. It drives me crazy because if we're human, we've had an emotion. We've had all of them, most likely. And when people go, oh, well, people have a dismissive way about grief, a dismissive way about, a friend of mine just kind of went through a breakup and someone said, oh, it's just a bump in the road. Are you kidding me? It's a bump in the road for that person who didn't want to hear her grief and her sadness. But it's not just a bump in the road. Nothing is a bump in the road if it's something important to you. So that group is the place I'd tell you to start, Susan, first. I think I remember you saying you are local too. So local to the group. Oh my goodness. Okay. Kristen is asking, I had a very visceral reaction twice when my eyes met those of a stranger at church Sunday and had certain visions as if from a century ago. Could this person have been a person from a previous life? 100% could have been somebody from a previous life. It also could have just triggered a memory you had with someone who either looked the same or gave you the same feeling in another lifetime. So it's hard to say if that particular person was also in your lifetime that disturbed you. I certainly wouldn't say no, but it's possible, but it doesn't necessarily even have to be. So even in modern neurological sciences, our brain is so complex and so brilliant in some ways. Say you were once attacked by someone with very, very, very bushy eyebrows. Later in life, you will see somebody with very similar eyebrows and instantly your cortisol and instantly your body is going to go into stress mode because it's retrieving something about that experience and placing the eyebrows. So when we have a reaction to someone at any point, and you're saying a little bit different because you said you felt as if it was a century ago. So that clearly shows that it's past life stuff. But even if you have a visceral response, like you don't like somebody or, oh, that person gave me the creeps and there was really no reason. It's not like they're following you and stalking you. You might also want to look at their overall appearance, the way they're dressed. And I'm not saying dress like if they're dressed poorly, you should be nervous. I'm saying to pay attention to the details of the person because it could be triggering an old situation that it happened to in a while, long time ago. So that's what hypnosis is for too. A lot of times hypnotherapists deal with people who have crazy fears. Um, when I mean crazy, I don't mean the person's crazy. I mean just odd fears. I always have to watch my words because someone always like tries to correct everything. Well, I say it's crazy, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, I'm just talking. Um, I digress. So I still have the F word with me from IKEA. I remember I went to my hypnotherapist many years ago, and he talked about a man that was terrified of floral couches. Any kind of couch that had flower pattern on it, he would get completely sick and he didn't want to sit on it. He would have a fear. Now that sounds nuts, right? That sounds like what? Well, in the regression, he was brought back, in the hypnotherapy, I should say, he was brought back to when he was like 2 or 3 years old, and a babysitter playfully was smothering him with pillows, like they were leaning on the pillows, and it was out of even fun, but he couldn't breathe. And all of a sudden he freaked out because of this experience. Now, fast forward 42 years later, he's all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, he's totally terrified of flower couches, and he can't figure out why. It's because the brain made an association with the flowers, couches, and that experience. So it could be a past life, Kristen. That person could have been someone literally in it, or could have been someone who triggered the memory of someone who was like that for you in a past life. That's a good question. Maria and Janine are saying you're screwed. I think I said as many F-bombs as I can on air tonight. I don't know. I'll probably have a few more in me, but no, they can hear your thoughts, but remember, they're not judging your thoughts. So if you're angry at them, they're not taking that offensively. They're holding the space for whatever feeling and emotion you're at. So if you're expressing anger towards someone who passed, or sadness, or whatever the emotion is, they hold space for you to be exactly as you are, instead of coming from the vantage point of like, why are they so mad? Why blah blah blah. Okay, so let's see. Mary Jane, let's see. My friend that recently lost her husband and oldest son asked in a conversation, where do the souls really go? Is there a place? Grown up Irish Catholic, any input? Yeah, that's a great question. The two words, where do they go, instantly makes us think of a location. And that's the problem why humans can't quite conceptualize what happens to our energy when we pass. I discussed this a little bit last week about the different containers and the water and the ocean and all of that. So you might want to breeze through my recording last week because I'll give a much better example or explanation last week. But there's no location to where we go, because location is based on the physical body. Our energy is housed inside our physical body, so we can find where we are. I'm here. This is the energy, the spirit named Deborah in this lifetime. This is how she's coming out. This is how she looks. But the energy, when I pass, the only thing that dies is this outer shell, this outer stuff, this hair, the skin, all of that stuff is what dies. The energy within me doesn't then go to somewhere else. It's everywhere it possibly can be. So it's I call it the collective whole. I call it it's that higher power. It's that connection to all. It's kind of like air. If we trapped air in a jar and then we were able to measure it and see it, let it go, it's like, where did it go? Where did each molecule go? It's immeasurable. It's everywhere. I hope that helps. Okay. Oh my God, Janine and Maria, you two are so funny talking back and forth. Okay. D, yeah, we're talking about that. D is saying you have a question about coaching. You're teaching during that coaching calls, or any way to get the information. We discussed, I think there is a way that we can record the call. The problem is disseminating that information for people after the fact. So we're still working with my website person on how do people who can't make the live call, how do they access it? Because it has to live somewhere on my website, as far as I've been told, which requires a whole new a whole new added part of my website that I just don't feel like I'm ready to do. So that's why we're talking about not recording it, because also then Michelle would have to send the link individually to each person. It's just a lot more labor intensive that way. And I don't want to add to Michelle's workload because, believe it or not, she is busy with me, that one. So that's where we are. We'll let you know. So if you already signed up for the call, we're going to let everybody know who signed up, what the deal is, and we'll announce stuff on Facebook and in my mailing emails and stuff. Okay. Sharon is saying the meditation group / tribe has helped tremendously with your grief. So that's huge. It is. It's an amazing group. It's also grief, childhood grief, grown-up grief, life grief, IKEA grief. I mean, I'll be discussing the crap out of this IKEA trip. Let's see. Susan C. How do you start moving forward while you're grieving? Hoping my parents are happy with my decisions after their death. How do you move forward? There's no how to. That's the problem. It's not one size fits all, as you know. And you are. A lot of people will come and ask that very question. They'll say, I don't know what to do. And I just say, keep waking up. That's what's going to happen. You are moving forward, even when especially when you don't think that you're moving forward properly. You are, because you're getting up. You go through numb zones where we're just not even thinking it happened. We go through times where we just pretend it didn't happen. We go through times that just the lid gets blown off of everything out of nowhere. Just as soon as you think you're fine, and I put that in quotes, then all of a sudden something gets triggered and you're like, oh my God, I'm not. So it's just a shit show. I mean, it just is, and there's no way it can't be anything but. Even people will say, I just want to know what's going on in your head. And one, I say, no, you don't. Trust me. And not because of the mediumship stuff, just because holy God. Two, I'm a medium, but anybody who I love close to me here in this physical lifetime, I'm not going to be like, well, it's okay. They're still with me. I'm not going to be okay with that. I happen to know that life goes on with them. They'll be able to be a part of my life. But I, the person, I'm still going to miss them, the physical person. There's no way of getting around that. Even knowing what I know, even getting the proof that I get every single day of my life through all of you, it still won't help the grief. It takes an edge off, I imagine. But to be a healthy human, we have to learn how to grieve, and it's terrible. I think it's the hardest part of living. But I also know, and this is why my coaching stuff is coming in, because I'm doing this almost 20 years now, and I've met tens of thousands of people, and I see people at their worst. People don't typically come in to see me when life's on the tracks. People don't. I see people usually right after the passing or a loss of some sort, when they're in the great WTF of life and they have nowhere to turn. I am one of those alternative energy people that people will turn to. Let me try this. Maybe this will help. And people go, you'll try 8,000 things. And I'm one of those 8,000 along your journey. And I see people at their worst. And over time now, over 20 years of doing this, I see how amazing humans are and how resilient we are, even when we think we're not, especially when we think we're not, and how much growth and light comes in to our being once we have experienced a profound loss. That I can promise you, that if you're doing the work, meaning addressing your grief, whatever that means to you, if you're addressing your grief and trying to work on it, it's like the pay dirt at the end of it is so much inner life that comes to you, and growth and personal development and expansion and awareness and mindfulness that you never would have had that incident happened. So I'm not saying that, yay, let's have everybody pass around us so that we can go through this amazing experience. No, I'm not saying that. But what I get to see is the people like Sharon and Marianne and Maria, you're new to this journey, but I'm seeing it. I see yours ahead of already. Now that you're like salivating, like, what? What are you seeing? Tell me. Um, the D's, the James that's on here. Um, who else? Kelly that's tuning in. All of you that are tuning in. Kristen, Carol, Susan, Paige, Melanie. Oh my God, Grace. I see all of you where you've been and where you are and where you're going. And don't underestimate that part. So you can't really get around the grief, but I promise you, as you keep moving forward with your best intention of quote unquote figuring it out, whatever that means to you, there will be something very big at the other side of that for you on this side. Does that make sense? That's why I like what I do. That very thing. I don't even, and I say this all the time, I don't even like mediumship anymore. I haven't liked mediumship for a very long time because at one point in my life, 20 something years ago, I was still in that mode of like, I need to prove this to myself. I need to really, really, really firmly believe that this is possible. And I need to, like a scientist, I need to recreate that possibility all the time. And I got to do that. And I get to do that still through sessions. But now my own life is going, got it. It's proven to me. I couldn't be given more proof, to be honest, at this time. So now that I have that for myself, I wonder, well, now what? What do we do with it? Okay, now that I know, like, yes, consciousness, life happens after death. There's so much more to this life. Now what do I do? Now it's all about like I gotta focus on living. I gotta focus on what's right in front of me. I gotta focus on peace. I gotta focus on whatever it is in the living for myself, which is what's transferring over to all my clients, is that those people are also now really interested in, okay, what do we do with it? What do we do now that we know that they're here? So that's kind of the trajectory of how it just goes, and it's how it's been going in my life. And who knows, in 10 years, maybe I'll be selling insurance. I don't know. No, I'll definitely not be doing that. Not because there's anything wrong with doing that. It's just definitely not something, I'm definitely not like a salesperson. So, well, maybe in 10 years, imagine I'll be like a dog trainer. That's hilarious. That's not going to happen either. But I also said I'd never get a dog, and I did. And I love him. He's my favorite person in the house. So, um, and on that note too, I'm certain once we pass over, there's no more of that like happy, unhappy, satisfied, dissatisfied. Um, they don't have those experiences, so I'm sure they are happy with their decisions after they've passed. I'm sure they were happy with them before. Let's see. James, are you coming to Milford? James, are you inviting me to Milford? Are you setting stuff up? Are you getting me into Milford, Pennsylvania? I would love to come to Milford, Pennsylvania. I'd like a venue out there who would like to collaborate on events. So I'm going to go anywhere that I'm invited. And I'm starting, as the kids are getting older too, really starting to think, where else can I go? Anyone in Hartford or anyone in Danbury that has connections, message me, like real connections, like real, like, oh, I have a friend who owns a theater and she wants stuff, that kind of stuff. I'm always looking for places to be. Okay. Janine is asking, are there real angels here on earth that look and act human? My friend got her car stuck and a Jamaican man was helping situation. When she turned around to say thank you, he was gone. Amazing. Yeah, I think we all are angels. Like, I know what you're saying, like real angels, like people who just like materialize out of thin air or leave out of thin air. I think we're all angels. I really, really do. All except for the man that was walking really slow in IKEA today. He was not an angel. But he probably was. He probably was saving me from something and I'm disgracing him. Who knows? I know nothing. But I think we're all angels. I think we should all adopt that awareness too, and that thought of like, we could be very significant to people that we never even know about. So I hear stories all the time of people saying, there was someone sitting by by my side while I'm sick in the hospital, and people go, no, there weren't. There was nobody there. And the person's like, no, I talked to a nurse for 4 days straight. They just sat there. So I hear it all the time. So I believe it for sure. But I also think real people are also real angels. Okay. Oh, Maria, you feel the same way about sofas covered in plastic, going back to the flowered couch thing. My grandmother had those too. And I remember being 5, 6, truly questioning what was wrong with this woman. Like, why would she have this horrible plastic on this really pretty furniture? And like, remember the edge? Like to me, my grandmother was meticulous. The edge, like you would sit and it would be abrasive, it would like not cut me, but you know what I mean? That little plastic lip. And I remember thinking at like 5 or 6, going, this is nuts. Like, who wants this? Who wants to sit on this? And then in the summertime, your legs would get stuck because it was in the 70s. It didn't have air conditioning, or she did, maybe she didn't have it on. I don't know. So I remember those. I remember the smell of them. Okay. Maria's asking, can energy be seen? Absolutely. It can totally be seen. That could be partially aura. The energy is seen all the time on CAT scans, MRIs, any kind of imaging that our science is working on. Cool story about that, actually. My father used to live on JPL's property. JPL stands for Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and it's basically the NASA division out in California. So he lived on NASA property, and all of his neighbors were NASA scientists, right? And then my father, who was like retired FedEx guy, was literally around like rocket scientists, right? Like for total real. One of his neighbors, imagine them hearing what I do too, by the way. Most of them were like, mm-hmm. So one of his neighbors gave us a tour of JPL. And at that time, they were working on, or they may have just, it was either right before or just after when they put the Mars rover and they were working on landing. I think it was called Spirit, the Mars rover. And they took us to the test room that they tested the Mars rover. It was really, really cool. And in that place, there was like, I guess, a heat detecting imagery. And if you pass by it, it could see where your hot spots are in your body and all that. And I said to him, I said, oh my God, then watch this. I can send more energy to my hands. And in my mind, again, I want to prove in science, I'm like, I'm going to, with my mind, send the energy, like through Reiki or my energy transformation part 3, energetic healing into my hands. And let's see if it glows. I bet you it will, because my hands get hot. And sure enough, he was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. And I was like, huh, okay, Mr. NASA, 19 different doctorates. Let's see. And it totally happened. It wasn't like they were glowing white, damn it. But if they gave me a few more minutes, maybe, I don't know. But it was clearly reddish orange and then red. So it made a clear thing. And it was just with my mind. And he was like, huh. He was a nice guy. I'm not dissing him. Not really. But I was like, Dad, did you guys see? Like, did you see the proof in my hands? The energy and my thoughts? And no? Okay. Okay. Let's just go now. So, yes. So aura is part of that. Imaging is part of that. In my mediumship class, we do a portion about reading auras. It's very easy. I mean, a lot of these people who are tuning in tonight can share their experiences that I showed them how to see an aura very quickly. And every single one of them in the group got it right away. There's Nicole, there's Sharon, there's Carol, Susan, I think Dee, I'm not sure if you were at that one, right? Was that mediumship? Oh no, that might have been an ETA class. Now I don't remember. Susan will remember where that class was, or Sharon. So you can absolutely learn how to see auras very quickly. You don't have to have like some specialized talent. That's something very easy. I can't show you through computer. And also I have a pink background here, so I can't quite show it to you. But if you have a family member stand in front of a white wall or cream wall, something with no color, and just stare at them for a little bit, and then close your eyes. You'll see their light, and then you open your eyes again, you'll see the outline of the aura. Okay, let's see. Do our pets go to the afterlife in the same manner? Absolutely, 100%. Oh my God, that's a brilliant idea. IKEA gets a lemon. You get a lemon, and you get a lemon, and you get a lemon, and IKEA gets a lemon. That's right. Oh my God, IKEA support groups. Hilarious. Maria, thank you. James is saying, I'm thinking of dead relatives that I hated from my past. I feel their energy a lot lately. I run the end of their life through my mind constantly, how old they were, how they got sick, WTF. One, totally normal and natural. Everyone does this. It could be, well, I don't want to even say it could be. I want you to imagine that those energies are popping into your mind because they are trying to say, James, we're good now. We're good. I'm sorry if I hurt you, or if you hurt me, I'm okay with it. So start to use that conversation, even if you're just using your imagination at first. When you are thinking of them, send them that I'm sorry, or I forgive you, or thank you for forgiving me, or whatever the conversation is needed. Or literally, totally real, you could be like, I still hate you. I still hate you. You still suck to me. You can totally say that to them for your sake, for your mental, emotional, spiritual health, to be real and honest. Take that opportunity to say that to them if you need to. One of my spirit to spirit meditation CDs, I walk you through this whole guided meditation. It's online, the spirit to spirit. And that's the opportunity where if there's any unfinished stuff that you need to say, and sometimes people go like, well, I'm really angry, I don't want to say anything. I'll say, well, then say that. That's what you need to say, because that's part of healing. So it's not all about like, oh, I love you and everything's okay. It will get there, but sometimes what we really feel is what we need to say. So I think they're coming around you to let you know, like, the energy, the hardness of the energy, the tension of the energy, the denseness, whatever you want to call it, the negativity of the energy is dissipating on their end, so that it can dissipate within you around them. That would be the big reason. Oh my God, Tuba, how funny are you? I wish. Kathy is saying, grief, if you get out of bed and get dressed, it's good. Move forward from that. That's 100% it. If you wake up, you're good. Keep going. And you don't have to do it fake. You don't have to do it like, oh, okay, I have to like pretend I have to now go to a Pampered Chef party and think everything's great. No, you don't have to do that. You don't. You really don't. Noreen, yes. Any tips on how to discuss death and loss and where our loved ones go with living kids? Trying not to freak them out, but they're asking a lot lately. Get the book Fall of Freddie the Leaf by Leo Buscaglia, Buscaglia. It's my all-time. I literally, like, my parents gave me that book when I was 3 or 4. And I was an early reader. I really was. I was reading at 3 and 4. And I remember them knowing that they gave me that book to understand death. Like, I remember like, oh, that was smart of them. I remember thinking like, that was really smart book to give me, because now I understand. So it's called The Fall of Freddie the Leaf. You can only find it on Amazon. You're not going to find it in Barnes & Noble. It's out of print. So that's a good one. Let's see. What is death? I can't think of the author's name, but it begins with an E. That's another one that I like. The Little Soul in the Sun is another one about death, and a little bit more about what happens to our souls when we come back into life. And ask them, instead of like trying to tell them what you think death is, you make sure you frame it like, well, I believe it's this. I think it's this, but what do you think? Because kids are a lot smarter. They will have an answer. They will have a concept, and you really want to start growing their own, or helping them develop their own concept of death, which might include their questions, but then you can say your answer of that question, but then say, but that's what I think. What do you think? That's really important, because about anything that kids ask. But um, because anytime we explain something as an adult to kids as if this is the way, we start getting trained to believe that's the way, and then the grooves in our brain actually believe life to be like that. When we could start going, this is my thought on it, but what do you think? It expands their minds a lot more. Obviously, depending on the age and stuff. I'd imagine that the kids um, that you're talking about are roughly between 4 and 8, maybe 9 that you're talking about, because that's usually when that comes up a lot, especially around 7. The topic of death really comes up and they start going, whoa, I get this in a different way. The Little Prince is also a good one. Velveteen Rabbit is a good one. I'll keep thinking, and you guys can type in too. Facebook, how are you doing over there? I'm just checking in. Okay. Oh, look at that. Greg is posting the links to all these books I'm mentioning. Damn, boy. So now we're good, Greg. We're good now. Now that our IKEA thing is over. Okay. Why are we all so different when we all start out as pure energy? Isn't that a great question? The beauty is that we're all so different. We're here on this planet to be as different as possible from one another. And at the same time to recognize that that's what we're here for. It's kind of like we go into big giant supermarkets and we want variety. As humans, we came into form, physical form, for variety. We wanted to see what other ways can we manipulate, change, or manifest energy. What else is out there? What could it be like? And then we came here, and then we grew up, and then we started getting trained, kind of going off of what Noreen's question was. We start getting trained of this is the way. And we believe that as kids, because if you're raised Irish Catholic, you believed that Irish Catholic was the way until you met someone that wasn't raised that. And then you're like, what? Okay. I wrote all this in my book too. Same thing if you were raised vegetarian. You think that's the way. That is the way. You don't know that there's people in the world that eat meat until you meet or see or experience someone who eats meat. And then you go, wait, what? What are they doing? And then it starts thinking, well, that's wrong because we're doing it this way. Or am I wrong because we're doing it this way? That starts the existential question. When we really should be recognizing right from the bat of, as parents, went to little kids, to grandchildren, go, wow, instead of saying, look at that person with blue hair. That's weird. Instead of saying that, go, oh my gosh. I love their blue hair. I wonder what made them choose blue. I wonder how many colors they've had. Go at everything with curiosity instead of judgment. Instead of, that's wrong, that's weird, that's different, that's odd, that's different. Blah, blah. That's what we do. And then we completely separate ourselves out and we make ourselves into a really tiny, small world instead of like, wow, that's so fascinating. I wonder what it's like to be in their body. Whether somebody is healthy or terribly unhealthy. Instead of saying, oh, look at that person, they're so unhealthy and disgusting, we say, oh, I wonder what it feels like to be in their body. I wonder what happened that they got that way. Same with healthy. I wonder what it's like to be in their body. I wonder how it got that way. Everything should be approached with curiosity, which actually brings me back to the Alice in Wonderland thing. One of the quotes she says is, I'm getting curiouser and curiouser. And then it says, in Alice's awe of everything, she had forgotten her proper English, which I love. I'm getting curiouser and curiouser. That's how we should walk out our doors, instead of like, oh God, look at that one. Oh my God, look at, or oh wow, that's nice. Judgment, positive or negative, is still a judgment. How about that one? How about them apples? Judgment, positive or negative, is still a judgment. So we need to stop making judgments and just observe, making observations without going, ooh, that's nice, that's good, that's nice, lovely, or ugh, gross, yucca, that's bad. Big difference in the world when we do that. That's a great question, by the way, Grace. I love that question. Yep, look at Dana. Thank you. Dana's saying, this is for like Susan about the grief group. Helped me when I didn't know where to turn 2 years ago. Talk about on target for where I'd be now. Yep. Let's see. Kim, I love that. I'm going to read this out loud. Kim said, I just read the best meme. The habits you created to survive will no longer serve you when it's time to thrive. Get out of survival mode and live life. That's exactly it. That is exactly 100% it. And Kim, I know you can't do ETA this time, but this is what ETA is about, is it's understanding, what did you start from? What were the conditions and the conditioning that took place in our lives so that we believed and started framing life in a certain direction? And it worked for us at some point in our life. The way we were raised worked for us. Even if it was chaos, it worked for us because that's what we knew. And then all of a sudden, something happens in life, something good. You can get into a relationship and you can fall in love, and something good happens and you start questioning your past, or something bad happens and you start questioning your past. Something affects change, something happens, and you start to go, oh, it's not working for me anymore. Ooh, I'm seeing that person differently. I'm experiencing a relationship differently, or this differently, that differently. So the habits you created to survive will no longer serve you when it's time to thrive. That's awesome. I'm so glad you wrote that, Kim. Because you've got to upgrade. It's kind of like the PC computer we used in 1999 is not going to help us today, because the software, the upgrades, all of that changed. So now we need to upgrade our vibration, is what the whole ETA is about. We need to upgrade our thinking and our consciousness to the current day to thrive. So get out of survival mode and live life. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my God. Oh, Al, I love it, Kelly. Her son came up. Look, I have an energy ball. Can you see it? He was stretching it and playing with it. This is the stuff you can teach your children, all about how to feel and experience energy. Maria, some religions make death sound so frightening. Sure do. In my book, I wrote about it. Of course, I can't think of his name off the top of my head now, but there was a particular priest who addressed that, how scary particular religion makes death seem, and how much he disagreed with that. So that was a big poignant part. And of course, I can't think of the man's name right now. The concept of purgatory was disturbing too as a kid. Yeah. And I always said, people say, what is the whole thing with purgatory? I'm like, we're in it, but this is it. Get a good look around. We're in purgatory. Which way are you going? Oh yeah, don't forget thumbs up, guys. Let's see. Yeah, you didn't know what you said. Maria's saying that you were raised with Catholic and you were terrified of purgatory. It's disturbing. A lot of you are saying, oh my God, me too. And Maria says, like being stuck on an elevator, not knowing if you're going up or down. Yeah, that's terrifying. And then Greg wrote, yeah, that happened at IKEA today too. We literally were in the elevator. We were talking to a cute older couple who were adorable with their little accents, and with the door open, and we were like on the roof, and we were like, how did we get on the roof? No, we pressed down. We tried to get down. So we literally, that happened at IKEA today. We're on the elevator. We didn't know we were going up or down. We don't know. Okay. It's all coming back to IKEA. I'm going to do a class, the spiritual lessons at IKEA. It's called Get Out of the Fucking Way. That's what it's called. Get out of the way. Everyone, just get out of the way. Don't stop in the middle of an aisle with a big cart that's shifting sideways. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you, Janine. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, guys. Let's see. Do we reconnect with the same energies each life, like siblings in one life, a parent and child in another, and friends in another? Yes, but we might not. Everyone we know in this life doesn't necessarily, they're all going to show up in the next life. So we kind of keep circling, but it doesn't mean, if I have these 50 people in my life that are significant, which if you have 50 really significant people in your life, that's a lot. Um, and in the next life, all those 50 are going to show up. It doesn't mean that. It could mean 2 in the next life, could be 1. So we travel in the same energy and vibration. It has to do with the lessons that we kind of choose to come into with. And those people typically are our co-creators with our lessons. So we tend to stay with our group. But even saying that, it's kind of inaccurate too, because we also are one with everyone all the time. So, but for the parameters of your question, yes, I'll say yes. Let's see. You're trying to change and break generational curses over here, going slowly but surely. Yep, and I'll address that too. Generational curses, and I know Kristen doesn't mean this, but the curses don't mean like some witch put it, and I know you know this, Kristen. Doesn't mean some like witch or some being put a curse on the family. We don't, homie don't play curses over here. We don't do that. I can't believe I just said homie don't play, but whatever. So curses meaning that those generational constant, like those handed down dysfunctions, because we do what our great great grandparents taught our great grandparents, and then they taught our grandparents, and then our parents, and then us. So we're just conditioned behavioral beings, right? Until we realize, that didn't work out so great for my 7 generations before. So let me be the one to address, say alcoholism. This one comes up all the time, or addiction of any sort. If you witnessed many family members with that affliction, that disease, that issue, you then have the power of going, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to learn from watching their behavior, and I'm going to behave differently. And let's see what plays out. So that's what is that generational cursing. The cool thing is breaking the curse. The cool thing is they say that once we heal ourselves, we put in motion the healing for the next 3 generations, and our healing actually helps heal the prior 3 generations. I hear 7 generations either way. I hear 3, so I pretty much always use 3. But that's written in so many. When I was doing yoga teacher training, we were talking about the sutras, and there was a whole sutra, I don't remember which one it is, that talks about, it wasn't a sutra. I don't think it was a sutra. It was a story that talked about healing the generational curse. Fabulous, fabulous stuff. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Greg, you're actually making me laugh tonight. This So, right. And Greg is writing in his, oh my God, I think it's time to go. But Greg's saying it's only 2 effing floors. Exactly. We got stuck on the elevator and there's only 2 floors. It's actually 3 floors. Oh my God. But it's funny. I mean, we were in like a black hole today for 5 hours. That's what happened. So that just made me laugh. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. How's that possible? Sharon's gonna see IKEA memes instead of chicken memes. Yep, we can make purgatory funny. That's true. We can. My God, my mission, if nothing else, is to make this shit fun. Not this shit tonight. I mean life. Like WTF. I find this realm to be so ridiculous that we all take ourselves so seriously that we need to like dial back. But yet then again, then we have to take ourselves serious. So we're kind of damned if we do, damned if we don't. Okay, Liz is saying, is there a defined finite sense of set of lessons that we need to learn? Would be nice to have a syllabus. Ooh, now that would be the book to write. The syllabus of life. I would just call it WTF syllabus. Let's see. Is there a defined finite set? I'm going to have to say no. I think it's a, hold on one moment, please. I have to feel my way through this question, which I love it. Is there a defined finite set of lessons we need to learn? I don't think there's a defined finite set. I think there's an infinite possibilities. That's what it is. Infinite possibilities. And we choose, are we going to experience them all? Which I personally believe we will. The whole philosophy of yoga itself, not just the one aspect of postures and poses and the classes that we know, but the whole point of yoga, the philosophy of yoga, it's not a religion. The philosophy of it is to actually stop being on the hamster wheel of life and recognize like we're just not going to go there. We're going to practice non-attachment. So I know there's not a defined finite set of lessons. It's just what we kind of choose. Going back to what we're saying before of like when we come here to be born, we're supposed to be as different as possible. We're supposed to just shine our unique light because there's no light that will ever be known that I'm representing, that you're representing, that your children, your parents, your family, everyone has a unique stamp of life. It's never going to be recreated, which is pretty freaking amazing. So, I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought on that amazing thought. Yeah, I was going somewhere with that. I really was. I promise. I'm stuck on the elevator of life. There's only 2 effing floors. I don't know where I was going. I'm sorry. One moment, please. Oh my God. I'm seeing my phone blow up over here too. Hold on. The kids. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gone. That means it's almost time to end this. Yeah. We're supposed to shine our light. We're individuals. We come in here. We're supposed to play that out. So within that, there's an infinite set of stuff. I totally lost my train of thought there, Liz. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay. Susan, questions about someone you have for someone deceased, that's more personal intuitive question unless it's a generalized question, then of course you can ask. But if it's personalized, that's not tonight. And not Tony. Shelly, you're not hurting your dad with your thoughts. He's, like I said to James, it's very much the similar thing of like maybe he is coming to you so that you can feel that he's going, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yes, lessons are unique to the individual. They're unique to the individual because it's the individual that creates them. So since we're never the energy that we ever had before, it's always going to be unique to me. Mary Jane, have you ever been to the IKEA in Paramus? 2 floors and a parking garage. I hear you. But if you're there for 5 hours and there was some difference of opinion in the middle of that 5 hours and you're walking around and I'm trying to find a stupid insert to a draw that we saw earlier 4 hours prior, but now we can't find, it doesn't matter if it was 1 floor and a corner. It's hard. It was definitely hard. Let's see. Hopefully learn what's meant for you. I think we do learn what's meant for us too, by the way, guys, because we do all, and I often say it myself too, of when we say, I better get my lessons, or I hope I'm getting this. And I talked about this last week about one of the classes of why am I here? And that is something that I will work on eventually to get this, this whole thing together is why are you here? Let's look at some of the things where you're here to figure out and learn. Just a few. And that'll you could spend your lifetime working on just one aspect. You know, I know one of my biggest, probably the biggest lesson that I'm here to learn in this lifetime is love. That is my big one this lifetime. Love, trust, faith. Those are my 3 big lessons that I'm learning in this lifetime. So I hope I get it right, but I'll get it to whatever degree that my soul is receptive to understanding and receiving. Okay. Greg said, plus with a 500-pound cart. Oh my God. Oh my God. With a 500-pound cart that also goes sideways for, for function. Oh my God. Please. Please. IKEA. Sayonara. Next time I'll just go to freaking Sweden to get stuff. It'll be nicer. Yes, it's about the size of a country. It is. It is. It's huge and it's packed. Anyway, I'm sorry. Moving right along. Let's see. Brian Weiss speaks about masters in his books. Are there souls that have learned enough to help out on the other side for other souls? Yeah, absolutely. Just same as here. There's people who people like going back to the one we were talking about with addiction in the family. There are people who are physically here too, who help us move up. Like, so people who are in AA and they've mastered that, then they go on and teach people how to do AA. So whatever we have here in life it's a mirror on the other side or vice versa. As above, so below, that phrase in the Bible. So yeah, there are masters, but it's not, I don't want people to start thinking of like individuals on the other side, because there's no individuality on the other side. There's archetypes of master-like energy. There's archetype of mothering, of nurture. There's archetype of type of light, of dark, of evil, of good. Not even evil, I will say. Not even evil. That's a human thing. But they're not individuals, because I do know that people will then go, oh my gosh, okay, so then there's people on the other side known as the masters or the angels or the saints, and they're higher. But it's not quite accurate, because that already makes us start thinking that it's an individual. And again, remember going way back to I think the first question tonight about where do the souls go? There's no location. So if there's no location, there can't be a form. There can't be a person or an entity itself that is responsible for any one manifestation of energy. Plus, I don't like the words like masters, saints, angels, sages. I don't like that because it creates hierarchy. And in nature, there's no such thing as hierarchy. No, there's not one thing that's better than the other. Like the sun would never say, well, I'm it. I'm the thing that everybody wants to be, because who cares about the sun if there's no earth and world for the sun to shine on? So the sun needs the earth to shine on it. So which one is more important? The earth to receive the sun or the sun to give to the earth? They're all working tandemly to create. So they're all equal. So a tiny little molecule of dirt is just as much powerful and as significant as the entire sun and the entire cosmos at the same exact time, because they are holding space and they're co-creating an existence based on each other. So when we say masters, saints, and sages, it's like, oh, the masters knows everything. And it's sort of like, well, we all know everything. It's God itself. Oh my God. Craig says, we're not too sure, Mary Jane, but it was obviously a life lesson Deb and I needed to learn today. We definitely did need to experience. We needed to experience IKEA on President's Day Monday together, so that I can also get more points for my lesson in love and faith later, because I did not love him, the store, people, myself, freaking shit we were buying, the bank that holds the credit card we put it on. I mean, there was no love at one point. I'm good now. I'm fine. We've been talking. But we definitely needed a life lesson there. Maria, self-acceptance. That's a huge life lesson. Yep, that's a big one. And that one for me to hear you say that makes sense to me. So think about what are your lessons here, and they come up a lot in sessions. People will ask me now that they know, like they'll come to me and say, I just want to know what are the things I need to learn, and that's part of the coaching stuff too. Of I'll help you figure that out, what you're here for. That part's easy. It's what we do with that afterward. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did we put it in a Prius? No, but the people next to us did, and um they were trying to close their trunk and it wouldn't close, and then they're yelling at each other. These are the people. I don't even know if Greg even saw this, because then I was in that kind of like, I'm giddy and I'm starting to laugh at the absurdity of this whole experience, and I'm so exhausted, and Greg's trying to put everything in our big giant, like the back of my SUV. So we had plenty of space. And then this car, which was a Prius, was trying to close the thing. Oh my God. I started getting the giggles because they're yelling at each other. And I was like, nobody's happy here. No one. Nobody's happy. So it's really, really funny, Liz, that you mentioned, did we put this in a Prius? Because we didn't, but our people next to us did. Wait, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Kathy said, oh my God, you guys, this is exactly it. Kathy says, there can be 1,000 carts at a store and I'll wind up with the most defective. Is that not say it all? Do we not all relate to that one? Like, we're like, really? I got the one with the bum wheel, right? Like, we all think that, but no, maybe us, all the carts are shit everywhere we go. That's possible. But this is life lessons at its finest, because you know why? Because everybody thinks there's something wrong with us because we keep ending up with the shitty cart, when really all the carts are shitty everywhere on the planet except for the brand new ones. But I always tend to, at Stop and Shop, I get the one that's totally stuck to the cart in front of it, and I'm already pissed. Like, I'm already starting my shopping, grocery store shopping, and I'm like, can't get that. Like, how did that happen? I usually get that cart, and then I don't go to that one. I can't get it out, so I pick another one. It's got dirt in it or like someone's tissue, and I'm like, okay, I'm not getting that one because I'm putting my food in there. And then I picked the shitty cart because that was the only one left. So we all know that's how life really works. But anyway, I digress. Okay, let's see. Maybe higher energies, we'll call this. Yes, higher energies. Maybe clearer energies. Oh my God, new conflict in a short story, man versus shopping cart. Oh my God. Oh my God. There's food there. We didn't even go to the food court. You kidding me? We didn't, but it smelled good. I will say that. And I do like their chocolate, and we did not buy any today because I would have eaten all of it in the car ride home. And I really have to stop doing that. So we didn't buy chocolate today. Greg. Oh my God. Greg has redeemed himself with humor. Oh my God. Greg was saying I'm a person that holds the door open for everyone. And he is, by the way, which was pissing me off, because at some point I was like, okay, we have shopping to do. You can't just hold the door for everybody. Me, who wants to help people. I'm like, every man's on their own when we're in IKEA. This is some strict shit right now. And he's holding the door. He said, but man, I was aiming for ankles. I can't breathe. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It just was fucking annoying today. And now we have like a whole thing set up. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, focus. I'm focusing. Oh, Carolyn, thank you. We didn't, Mary Jane, we didn't even get a blue bag. Greg on the way home also said, aren't we supposed to get a bag for all the little stuff? And I was thinking, like, no, everybody's recycling. You have to buy them. I didn't see them anyway. We didn't even get the IKEA bag, which we could use now that we're in Ulster County and we can't have any. I can't. I can't, Grace. I'm so sorry, you guys. I can't. I'm annoying myself for laughing. I'm sorry. Greg said. Greg says they need marriage counseling section in the parking. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. This is a long day. I'm tired. Oh my God. I heard so many people in the store crying. Oh my God. People arguing. Everybody was cranky. I don't know. Maybe they put some kind of negativity spray in there today. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's probably annoying to you. God, if we had our phones recording our trip, we would have gone viral because they would have been like, holy shit, what is happening? Whew, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, put me to bed. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, IKEA. Love you, IKEA. Bless you, IKEA, for these great laughs that we've had tonight. And the fact that I was like, I'm not marrying this man ever. I was literally like that at one point. I'm like, fuck him. I'm not marrying. This is ridiculous. And now he's redeemed it. Like he flipped it to the humor of the whole situation. And I'm sure he had the same thing with me. Don't think I thought I was great. I'm sure he was like, I am not marrying this woman ever. We're moving out and we're living single lives. I know we both had that today. So we're both good. But the fact that he's making me laugh now has redeemed it. Okay. So see, Mary Jane gets it. She said, no bag. Why the hell did you go? Exactly. We didn't even get the bag. Okay. Oh my God. Yes. Annie, exactly. The session has helped me see the absurdity of it all and laugh about it. Yes. And make me love Greg again because he has a sense of humor about it. Because I was literally like, I'm gonna take your fucking ring and here, I was going to throw it into the, I don't know what section. I'll have to think about it. What section? Oh, the warehouse. I'm going to throw the ring in the warehouse. Go find it. Aisle 8, bin 45. That's where the ring will be. So, yes. Okay. So, you know what? Liz says, next time, storm to the kitchen in IKEA and slam some cabinets while you yell. That's great. Like have a full-blown, like, hey, this is now our house because it's IKEA and it's set up really pretty and we're only trying to make our house pretty. And I'm lured in by all this perfectly placed shit in microcosmic spaces, by the way. We don't even talk about that. Like, wow, if they can make that 2-foot by 3-foot kitchen work, I think I can do this. Like tiny houses. My God. Oh my God. Someone from IKEA should see this shit. We gotta talk. We gotta do marriage counseling at IKEA. We should set up a table. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's Monday night. It was not a funny day. It's funny now. I hope it stays funny upstairs. Here's my thoughts for the week. Try to find the bright side and everything. I don't know. Just be you, boo. Everyone. I don't know what the answer is here. I think this is a good place to wrap it up, though, because it's only going downhill from here. No. Giggles are a great release of the anger IKEA caused. Sure is. Oh my God, Sue, he needed positivity darts. Sue, we both needed positivity darts. We did. Okay. So everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for dealing with my rant and then my giggles. So now maybe I'm bipolar. Maybe my bipolar medication's not working. Whatever's happening. I don't know. But a quick meditation. All right, Carolyn, let's do that. Okay, let's do a quick recentering, refocus. It's time for bed. Hopefully for most of you that you're going to sleep and not getting ready to go to work. Let's take a nice deep breath. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you guys didn't write back and we got the feedback, well, I'd have nothing to talk about. So I really need your feedback. But just like the sun and the dirt, I'm dirt. You're all the sun. If which one needs each other? We're both all equal. So take a nice deep breath. Take the next few minutes to just immerse yourself in laughter or peace. Focus on your week. Know that thy will be done. I don't even mean that religiously. I mean like whatever needs to be done will get done. Let's all send really good energy to IKEA in Paramus, New Jersey, and everyone else who has to go there this week. We're going to change the energy of the store somehow, together, collectively, and everybody in it. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a great week. And I will see you all next week, I'm sure. So enjoy, guys. Bye.